I'm tripping out. Yeah, I'm a
Come,
damn good.
come. All right, Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach wa Malak Yahushai. It is to say Yahweh, being named the Heavenly Father, who the world will call God, and Yahweh Shai, being named his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right, his brother Kisadi from W5 Jersey, Philly.
Kind of brother Yazara.
Come. And we back at it again. I don't know which number this is. It might be like the third or fourth one. But
Yes.
we back in it with the Watchmen Wednesdays. Um, consistently, even though it's so-called Thursday, it's still so-called Wednesday night. But we out here. We're going to be going into more updates and more things that's going on around the earth as far as current events, as well as false brethren unawares that's going to be creeping into congregations, if not already done so already, as well as the COINTELPRO and the different agendas that Esau has pushed out to try to hinder this word. Right. So we're gonna kick it off with like we mentioned, we're gonna kick it off with some of the current events that's going on. If you do you want to bring out anything you wanted to go into at first? And shalom to everyone that's on the comments board as well. The brother
Uh,
Amaziah,
okay.
Jeremiah, Lion of Judah. Shalom to all the brothers that scattered abroad. You got it, King.
Now, if you want to bring out the article first, we then I'll work off what you got.
Okay, Khan. So, well, first, if brothers don't know already, I'm sure you should know, you know, all hell broke loose out there with the brothers in Chicago. On the WFI, if I'm not mistaken, on the Watchmen for Israel, the main channel, we have the full uh camera angle and different the actual accounts of what actually happened and what took place out there between the Palestinians, the Ishmaelites that were out there, and our brothers that's over in WFI Chicago, as well as WFI Indiana that was out, and WFI Detroit. So if you want to check out exactly what happened, this video is not that video. We're not going into that completely, but we do want to give a brief update as well. I'm gonna share my screen in a second because as this thing picks up more traction, it kind of it touches on coincides what we're about to talk about right now. As this picks up more traction and Israel is being shown more and more on the mainstream media, um, this event that took place in Chicago, I mean, it's big. This is definitely something just like we had last year. You had Kyrie speaking up about the truth. You had Kanye West speaking up about the truth. Now you have an event like this where it has the potential to not only bring in more sheep into the fold, but also bring forth more of the persecution as well, which is all of the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. And again, with that being said, Israel got to be on the mindset that you got to be circumspect. Not only do you have to watch when you at camp, not only you have to watch the prophecies that's happening all across the earth right now, whether it's war with Ukraine, Russia, Iran, Israel, all the different nations. You also got to watch for brothers that may try to creep into the congregations now, and feign themselves to be men that serve Yahweh Shem Shai, but truly they damn agent provocateurs. And like we mentioned, it may be we may go out to Chicago and a damn agent is out there and he just out there just to stir up the strife, stir up damn contention, stir up what's the word I'm thinking of? He's an agent provocateur to
Right.
go out there and just cause damn a riot.
To provoke stuff.
Right.
Right.
So I'm gonna share my screen and we could talk about it. Let me share the screen. So I have over here, right? Now this is the original video or one of the original videos that as we can see, it has 8.6 million views. So when we say this is a big, I mean 8.6 million times was this viewed. This is not to say that this has actually I think they have something where they have impressions, like how many times anyone looked at it, and then you got I think views is it's something like that. But The point of the matter is this video alone was seen 8.6 million times. So just to put in perspective, this is real big. You want to talk about this, King?
Um, nah, you can keep going on it. You keep going on it.
So and this guy right here, I mean, he has 2.3 million followers on Twitter. So I actually pulled it up as well. Let me see over here. So you got a lot of these mainstream websites talking about this. The Daily Signal, MSN.com. So, like I said, we're not going to talk about this too much because again, you should have known already what happened in Chicago. But this is again tying into some of the more events that may unfold in these last days. Not only do we have to worry about, again, World War III, so on and so forth, the Lord said, let me get that actually. I'm not going to quote it. Let's go to St. Matthew chapter 24, right? St. Matthew chapter 24, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, St. Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? So we're hearing of the wars and the different potential threats that's happening. You got Yemen that's joining into the war over in between Israel and Hamas right now, or the Israelis, I should say, because we Israel, right? We're not going to keep giving them our title.
Right.
They are the Israelis. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We're the children of Israel. They're the children of Amalek. So read on. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. So the Lord said, while you're hearing about these things, don't let it trouble your mind. We in a time of persecution that's about to happen soon. You can't let this shake you, move you. Now you've been tossed to and fro because you're scared of what potentially may happen. You got to build up your confidence in your faith in these last days, right? That you trust in the Lord. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the Lord said these things must happen, but that doesn't mean the end is here just yet, because the Lord's going to tell you the end. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. So while these things are happening, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, so on and so forth, different uprisings and uproars in the world. Well, guess what? The Lord said then, and we seeing those things already. They're happening as we speak. Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 2 on down, it tells us that that's a sign or a token of the end of the world, and that the Most High is visiting the earth which he made. But it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. Now, who is the they that's going to deliver us up? Well, that's what the video is about. The they that's going to deliver us up are the false brethren, whether men, whether women, that's going to deliver you up in these last days. Whether elders that you see as elders in this thing, you gotta be circumspect of everyone. I mean, the Lord told you this is going to happen. Yahweh Shai literally set one of the 12 that sat with Yahweh Shai, literally delivered him up, Judas Iscariot. You got different men in the scriptures that we're going to go through who was literally plotting against our brethren because they was moving with envy and sedition and hatred in their heart towards their own brothers. Right? It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Now, it was something else I wanted to pull up. I'm gonna pull this up as well. You also have, not only do you have to deal with that, you also got this Camilla Harris that had dropped a new announcement about 4 hours ago. But if you want to hop in there, King, you can just stop me. But we can go into this next.
Yeah, you can go into that, and I'll touch on this when you bring it
okay,
up.
come. So we're gonna play this video. Damn, let me see, Lord willing. Let me know if you can hear this. I'm gonna play it.
I can't hear that.
Okay, come. So I'm gonna I know what I did wrong. Gotta go back. We're still getting a hang of this, Israel. You gotta, bear with brothers. Still getting a hang of this. All right, click this. Okay, there we go. That's what I didn't do. All right, so there we go. So this is Kamala Harris. She's the so-called Vice President of the United States. Um, it says the White House announces the formation of the first ever U.S. national strategy to counter Islamophobia. Now they want to defend Islam.
Right.
Now they want to defend Islam. So let's check this out.
Our nation was founded on the fundamental principle that all people should have the freedom to live, to worship.
Can you hear this, King?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, come on.
And to be without fear of violence or persecution. Every person has the right to live safe from violence, hate, and bigotry. And for those reasons and so many more, President Joe Biden and I have a duty not only to keep the people of our nation safe, but to connect.
Salakia, so I'm going to play it through the first time, and then we can go back and touch on different points you said.
Yeah,
Condemn unequivocally and forcefully all forms of hate. Since we took office, President Biden and I have fought to uphold that duty. Over the past decade, America has seen a rise in attacks on houses of worship. So in response, we expanded funding to protect houses of worship from violence. After a surge in hate during the pandemic, in particular anti-Asian hate, President Biden signed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act to improve the reporting of hate crimes and to ensure hate crimes are investigated quickly and thoroughly. Earlier this year, in response to an historic rise in anti-Semitic attacks, we also released the first national strategy to counter anti-Semitism. And to make clear, taking on hate is a national priority. President Biden and I held the first White House summit to address hate-fueled violence, and we brought together religious leaders, community leaders, and survivors to continue our work to keep all Americans safe. And today, we take another important step forward in our fight against hate. For years, Muslims in America and those perceived to be Muslim have endured a disproportionate number of hate-fueled attacks. As a result of the Hamas terrorist attack in Israel and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, we have seen an uptick in anti-Palestinian, anti-Arab, anti-Semitic, and Islamophobic incidents across America, including the brutal attack of a Palestinian American woman who was Muslim and the killing of her 6-year-old son. A senseless act of violence that the Department of Justice is investigating as a hate crime. For so many people in our nation, the past few days and weeks have brought about all too familiar fears. Fears that they will be targeted, profiled, or attacked simply because of who they are, how they worship, or how they look. And so today, I am proud to announce the Biden-Harris administration will develop our nation's first national strategy to counter Islamophobia. This strategy will be a comprehensive and detailed plan to protect Muslims and those perceived to be Muslim from hate, bigotry, and violence, and to address the concern that some government policies may discriminate against Muslims. For example, the so-called Muslim ban, which President Biden revoked on our first day in office. So here's the bottom line. In America, no one should be made to fight hate alone. And in this moment, then, let us all clearly say, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us.
Now, we can go back to that, kind of chop it up, and she said a lot though. I'll say that she definitely Jim Crow is trending. The hell? But she definitely said a lot. But you can hop in there first, King. You got it.
Yeah, I just want to know, where was this energy at when we were being called 2/3 of a man?
Right.
And damn, like Jim Crow, like that's a spirit. You got Jim Crow. Where was this energy at from America, from the president, the vice president? Where was this energy at for the so-called blacks and Hispanics during the during the what was that thing called with the Native American, the Trail of Tears.
Your Trail of Tears.
Yeah, where was this anti-hate speech then? You got the anti-Semitism, right? You got the anti-Muslim apparently. Remember they had
Right.
the anti-Asian crime bill.
Right.
Where was this for the so-called black man, the so-called Hispanic man, so-called Native American man? And like the brother said it earlier in the chat, these are the same people that are denying a ceasefire over there in Hamas.
Right.
How are they how are they trying to do this for the Arab man when they're over there saying that we shouldn't stop bombing the Arab man, when all the other rest of the countries are saying we are calling for a ceasefire? The UN literally, like you go into it, the UN, the United Nations, they voted on a ceasefire. Overwhelmingly, most of the nations said voted for that ceasefire. America didn't vote for it. They said no, we don't want a ceasefire. We want them to keep bombing Hamas, bombing these Muslims that live in Palestine, that live in the Gaza Strip. So how can they come? These people are hypocrites, right?
Right.
America is a hypocritical nation, right? So that's really all I got to say about that. That's crazy because they, time and time again, you see America, their tongue falls upon itself. That's why Gad said they speak with a forked tongue, right? These people are liars. You can't believe nothing they say.
Yeah, that's complete madness. Like you just said, if they're literally funding the war that's going on, yet, and two, if this anti-Asian, if it's always been anti, you can't speak against Esau, the white man.
Right.
It's anti-Muslim now. So what the hell, what is left?
Right.
They showing you that it don't matter if you for this truth or not. They still gonna look at you the same. All you so-called blacks and Hispanics that's watching this, if you are able to watch this, if you are those that you maybe just waking up to the truth or just maybe just stumbled across this video, they're gonna look at us the same whether you got fringes on or not. So you got to keep this in mind that brothers we on the forefront. I know people look at us and they especially when we're down in Chicago, there was like, we went out there to fight and this and that, and they got different words against us because they're following the agenda that's been pushed out. But if you really think about it, we're the ones that's actually defending you. We're the ones the Lord is sending out to be the ones to lay down our lives for you because we love you that much. If we didn't care about our people, we would not be out there on the highways and byways. We would not be up at 12:23 a.m. Brothers worked all damn day, then go to sleep, no naps. We don't take naps.
Right.
Our kids may take naps. We don't take naps. But yet we still hop on the live stream. Brothers still make videos. Brothers still dealing with everything brothers deal with. Go out on the highways and byways, teach the word to wake you up. Yet our own people going to look at us. Now, what this bill is literally saying, it's clearly targeted against us. If you didn't know this already, that bill that she just created, the anti-islamophobia, is against us. And what took place in Chicago, it kind of shed a little more light because it also was another event, another camp. I believe the brothers in ISUPK, right? Mighty brothers out there in New York. I think something happened in Brooklyn against these damn Palestinians, these Ishmaelites. So brothers, we gotta look into this now. Let me get this quick precept. This is the book of Acts, chapter 16, and I'll start at verse 20. It says, Acts 16-20, I started at 19. And when our masters saw that the hope of their gains was gone, they caught Paul and Silas and threw them into the marketplace unto the rulers and brought them to the magistrate, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. Now, she just said that let me go back to the last part because I don't want to.
I had a
Con.
article I wanted to bring out real quick pertaining because I just wanted because you go ahead, but I touched on it. It's about the ceasefire and how they voted against it.
I got you right after this. I'm at the
Okay,
I wanted this last part she had said. Let me go to this real quick. Now it don't want to load. We just watched the whole video.
right.
Now it don't want to load. But you got it, okay?
Yeah, like
I'm gonna let you get in there.
let me share my screen real quick because it's crazy because people are really on the surface just believe this, not knowing what's really going on. And they'll say, "Oh, that's what is Kamala Harris? She's the vice president." They'll
Right.
say she's the vice president, and oh, she's on the news, so we got to believe her. When literally all of their actions, and that's our people too, and that's America. They'll go with everything except for they'll believe their words and not their actions, right? So this is from the Guardian, right? It says U.S. looks isolated after opposing UN resolution on Gaza truce. So the UN, the United Nations, right? They had a vote on if there should be a ceasefire in Gaza. Israel should, if there should be a truce and a ceasefire. You see, all the nations, out of all the nations, 120 of them voted in favor of the ceasefire, and there was only 14 against it. Now there was some nations that were absent or abstained from voting, but the overwhelming majority voted for a ceasefire. And we're going to see what nations. Well, we're not going to go through all of them, but what major nations said no, there shouldn't be a ceasefire. So it says the U.S. has ended up looking quite badly isolated after only 12 countries joined Washington and Israel at the UN General Assembly in opposing a motion calling for a sustained humanitarian truce, leading to a cessation of hostilities. 1 hour after Israel had extended its offensive in Gaza, Jordan's motion was passed in New York by 120 votes to 14, with 45 countries abstaining. The outcome was remarkable for showing the limited direct support for the world's greatest superpower, even with France, Spain, and the UK refusing to join the US in voting against the motion. Right? So you see that? The US, even the nations, the other countries in the EU, in NATO, they're not even with the US on this. But the US has the nerve to talk about what is it, anti-Islamophobia.
Right.
Aren't they the Islamophobias if they're over there damn bombing kids, melting kids to death with those missiles, that's supporting Israel in doing so and providing them the missiles, providing them them iron domes and things like that. So we got to really look. You can't take things on the surface level. You got to go into it and see if their actions are really meeting their words. And that's why the Bible talks about the Most High hating hypocrisy. The Most High talking about this being a hypocritical nation. Right. So I just wanted to bring that out to show brothers and sisters that you can't believe just what America be saying because their actions their actions don't fit what they be talking about.
Calm. And if you look back at that article, it said what France, UK, and
Yeah.
Spain. And
I'll
no
share
one there. Calm. They were I was gonna go into that they we know the scripture mentioned that the beast is gonna hate the whore, or the nations are going really the beast is gonna hate the whore, the nations of EU. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Because it says the outcome was remarkable for showing the limited direct support for the world's greatest superpower, with even France, Spain, and the UK refusing to join the US. So, and these are they're a part of the seven heads.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into Revelation, the 17th chapter. So
Right.
the Lord is stirring up that spirit, and it's for those that go into the prophecy, you can see that the things of the Bible are definitely aligning in real time.
Right.
And with this so-called Islamophobia, like we had mentioned, I actually pulled it up. I want to share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share my screen again. Just go back to this precept afterwards. Because brothers teaching, I mean, I know us, we teach in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the second highest capital in all the United States for damn Muslims. And what's first? Chicago. So you got Chicago and you got Philly. Counter Islam. This is the first ever U.S. national strategy to counter Islamophobia. But hold on now, we literally just back in 2001, anybody that wore a so-called turban
Mm-hmm.
was deemed a terrorist.
Right.
But now America, 22 years later, now because of the recent things that's going on between Hamas and Israelis,
Right.
now they're trying to be on the defense. They're trying to be in the middle. When y'all literally
Right.
funding that war and y'all been pushing this narrative.
Right.
What they
America's
do is
the one that Slovakia.
you got it. No, you got it, King.
America's the one that started Islamophobia.
Right.
Like this is go ahead.
They start the problem and then they try to give you they make the problem and they sell you the solution.
Right. Yeah.
Damn devils. But let's play this part because she said
To fight hate.
let me rewind a little bit.
No one should be made to fight hate alone. And in this moment, then, let us all clearly say, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us.
So she said a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us. Meaning she wants the whole United States. If you're going against these Muslims, she want everyone in the United States and their allied countries to deem them as terrorists. Now we go against those that's in Islam, we're considered terrorists. And I wanted to make that point because that's that's literally the time of Acts. Right? I'm gonna get another precept. This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, and I'm gonna start at verse 5. But the Jews which believe not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, and gathered a company, and set all the city on an uproar. They will have hope to set the whole damn city in an uproar, man. It says what? And not the city representing in what, as far as what I'm speaking about, America. She wants all of America to join hand in hand with anyone that's speaking against Ishmael, not only Ishmael, the Arabs, of course, the so-called Arabs, but also anyone that's speaking against the Jewish man. That's what she talked about. They passed earlier this year or even last year, the first ever anti-Semitism strategy. They already had during the so-called time of COVID. She had the anti-Asian hate. So now you got all these different things what's left. What other nationality is left, or culture, I should say, is left? Right? All the eggs in the basket for every other culture but our people. You understand? Because it's showing you that they're all banding together to be against you so-called blacks and Hispanics, right? Us Israelites. Let's read on though. It says, verse 6, and when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren into the rulers of the city, saying, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also. And again, for brothers to teach the word, brothers stand in great boldness, showing love one toward another, and not showing love to the other nations. Now we can see, as it already has been, but it's further, those battle lines is being further pushed with these different strategy builds they come out with. Right. So brothers gotta, definitely keep watch over this, man. Because again, we talked about it last night, but a false flag is coming to go ahead and get us further deemed as true terrorists in the earth. we talked about it a little bit before the Chicago incident happened, but something is going to happen soon. You can kind of see it. Something may happen, just like you got 9/11, just like you got Pearl Harbor. You got these different things that got America to be able to go to war. The true war over here in the United States will be the fight against terror, and we're considered the terrorists. You have something else, Ken, you want to go into?
Nah, I was gonna bring up. I think I seen it on Twitter, but it was saying how America is like on the highest alert or
I can find
readiness for a terrorist attack. So they try to push these things to what is the word called? They try to tell us what's going to happen before it happens.
Damn, what is that called? Predictive programming.
Yeah, predictive programming. Try to have a pretext, right, to show you. They're showing you, like I said, what's going to happen before it happens. So when it happens, they have a reason to say, "Oh, this is why it happened." If you understand what I'm saying.
I think I found it too. The article you're looking for.
Is it an article?
Yeah, well, I saw the article on it. Let me see. Yeah, I found it. So let me pull this up. This is the FBI talking about this a day ago. Pull this up 1 second. And we'll definitely get into false brethren, unawares, COINTELPRO, different things of that nature. We got some things pulled up we want to go into, but this is website. It's called NHK. I've never seen this website, but I've seen. I mean, they have this actual video pulled up. So, but this is about 18 hours ago. It says the FBI director warns terror threat to U.S. is the highest in years. We're not gonna play this video. You can check it out on your own. This is a website link, but I'm gonna read a little bit of this article real quick before we continue on. It says FBI Director Christopher Wray has suggested that threats of terrorist attacks in the United States have been raised to a new high, triggered by the ongoing conflict between Israel and the Palestinian Islamic group Hamas. Wray spoke before the Senate. Can you see my screen, Ken?
Yeah.
Okay, come. It says Wray spoke before the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee on Tuesday. He noted that multiple foreign terrorist organizations, including Al-Qaeda, have called for attacks against targets such as the United States and Jewish communities in the United States in the past few weeks. It says Wray said the reality is that the terrorism threat has been elevated throughout 2023 before the ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of an attack against Americans in the United States to a whole other level. It says the greatest terrorism threat to our homeland is posed by lone actors or small cells. Small cells, they might as well just say camps of individuals who typically radicalize to violence online. Wray noted these potential threats are not receiving direction from foreign terrorist organizations. See that?
Yeah, it's all propaganda. It's all propaganda so that they can have a reason for when it happens, they can blame somebody. They can be like, "Oh, we told you it was coming," and they can give a reason why it happened.
Right. It says he said that as the conflict continues, hate that quote unquote hate directed at Jewish students, communities, and institutions add to a pre-existing increase in anti-Semitism in the United States and around the world. And this kind of goes into I did have something I wanted to go into real quick. I'll talk about it because it kind of ties with more into this. Now, back in 1999, the FBI had something known as Project Megiddo. Now, if I pronounce that right, now Megiddo is actually in Israel. It's another word for Armageddon. I believe we talked about it a little bit last week, but so Project Megiddo was a report researched and written by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is the FBI, under Director Louis Frey. It says released on October 20th of 1999. The report named followers of white supremacy, Christian identity, the American militia movement, Black Hebrew Israelites, and apocalyptic cults as potential terrorists who might become violent in reaction to the new millennium. Because during this time, people was they were saying that Yahweh, pretty much Yahweh Shai would come in the year 2000, so on and so forth, and they thought that, I believe, all the computers would, I forget what exactly would happen with the computers, but a bunch of madness that pretty much the world would end in 2000. That didn't happen. We in 2023. But continuing on, it says a report began for over 4,000 years. Megiddo, a hill in northern Israel, has been a site of many battles. Ancient cities were established there to serve as a fortress on the plain of Jezreel to guard a mountain pass. As Megiddo was built and rebuilt, one city upon the other, a mound or a hill was formed. The Hebrew word Armageddon means hill of Megiddo. In English, the word has come to represent battle itself. The last book of the New Testament of the Bible designates Armageddon as an assembly point in the apocalyptic setting of God's final and conclusive battle against evil. You can read about that in Revelation 19 and 2 Ezra 13, where Yahweh Shai is fighting against the different nations. It's all going to try to fight against the Lord. That's why they got these Space Force programs they're creating, these different projects that they're literally going to assemble themselves in the day of battle against Yahweh Shai and try to fight against them. And they're going to be destroyed, of course. It says the name Megiddo is an apt title for a project that analyzes those who believe the year 2000 will usher in the end of the world and who are willing to perpetrate acts of violence to bring that end about. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it was something that was important that I really wanted to check out. If I can remember where it's at. Oh, yeah, it's right here. So it says the groups named as potentially violent were biblically driven cults. So those that's potentially violent back in 1999 were biblically driven cults. It says malicious, adherents of racist belief systems such as Christian identity. So they said these Christians were considered in this racist belief system. And wantonness, Salakia, and other radical domestic extremists. Now, Salakia, hold on. I'm saying, I didn't even click that. It says the report ends by discussing the possibility of terrorist attacks in the city of Jerusalem, saying, quote unquote, the extreme terrorist fringes of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are all present in the United States. Thus, millennial violence in Jerusalem could conceivably lead to violence in the United States as well. Now, long and behold, we have the war between the Israelis and Hamas that's now leading to violence in the United States as well. This is a research program they had since 1999 for 24 years. They've been pretty much trying to craft the perfect way, or at least in their minds, craft the perfect way to bring this about. Literally. I mean, even this same exact event that's going on right now, they was lining this thing up back in 1999. That's what we're reading about. It's madness. Did you want to go into that a little bit, King?
Okay, it's cool. We can keep it rolling.
So Lord willing, Most High willing, man, Ezra, you keeping watch, because again, let's go into this. Let's go into the book of 2 Ezra real quick. 2 Ezra chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at verse 20. 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 20. it says, and when the world in it's like it, 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be open before the firmament, and they shall see altogether. So these different things is unfolding in the earth. The Lord has the books open before the firmament. That's why we can go into these different prophecies and the different events that's happening. They're linking back up to the scriptures. You understand? The fifth seal is vastly on the rise. Jacob's trouble kicking off anytime soon. World War III is already here. Literally, we go into different articles each and every week about what's happening right now between these different war fronts. Even North Korea, pretty much saying, if I could find that article, I'll pull it up. But North Korea was saying that they're backing Hamas in any country or ally of Hamas that's trying to go to war with the Israelis. So now you got North Korea getting into the war as well. You got North Korea, like we mentioned, we got Yemen, those Arabs that's over in Egypt, they're getting into this war as well. So that's already doing its thing. You got Russia saying they're going to shoot down any F-16 fighter jets that's sent over to Ukraine. So you got that's dropping off as well. You got these different things that's happening in World War III. Now, what's kicking off as far as the ushering in of Jacob's trouble? So that's what we want to, now we want to get into it, most high willing, about false brethren crept in to deliver us up. We talked about it a little bit in Matthew, the 24th chapter, but the Lord specifically told you that it's going to be brothers delivering up brothers, fathers delivering up the children, children delivering up the parents, and so on and so forth. You may be thinking that you cool with a brother, and the whole time the brother plotting against you.
Right.
2 years ago, right? I believe it's 2 years ago now. I had a dream. Now this brother, he's no longer in the congregation, but we're not gonna say his name, but I'll tell you. I believe I told you the dream already came. But for Israel, 2 years ago, right, literally, I believe a day later or the following week, we had a council with this brother, and the brother he left the camp after that. But anyway, I had a dream before we had this council with this brother. I had a dream that the brother was in my house, and for whatever reason, it was daytime. Brother's in my house. He pulls out a gun and just shoots in the air, and then immediately all his police, they come into my house, and they look and I'm trying to figure out why the hell he just shot the gun, and instead of them seeing him have a gun inside his hand and trying to get him, they all turn after me, and I'm looking at the brother like, brother, are you an agent? Like, that's what I thought in my mind. Like, why the hell did you shoot this gun? And they not even trying to get you. Now they coming after me, and they clearly see this brother had a gun in his hand. So then I look at the brother. He has this weird look on his face, and he joins with them. And I run out my window, and everyone's the police and his brother, they all chasing after me. So I run out my window. I'm jumping over rooftops. I'm jumping, and then I get up out the dream. And then, like I said, if it wasn't that following day, it was the following week where we had a council with his brother. He felt a certain type of way with brothers, and then eventually the brother left after that council. He just left the congregation. So I'm only bringing out to say, I'm not saying the brother's an agent, but I'm bringing this out to say that you gotta be circumspect of the brothers that's around you.
Right.
The brothers that's around you, the different events that's going to take place. You may be at camp, and then a new brother, he just wants to come out. We had another brother before. He came out to camp, and he just gave us damn near $1,000.
Yeah.
And then he was asking brothers where they live at. He asked me, where do I live at? He said it. Now he kept asking me, and I kept, I'm not going to tell, brother, I don't know you, so why would I tell you exactly where I live at? Now this brother, he kind of pulled me to the side. He was like, brother, look, all these brothers out here, they're not going to die for you, but brother, I'll die for you. I said, all praise to the Most High. And I kind of got out of there because men like that, we never seen a brother ever again neither. He came out the one time, asked brothers where they live at, gave brothers $800 and left. and marked bills. Damn near crazy. But so the scriptures speak about
yeah,
right. So you got it, King. We can get into the precepts of.
yeah, Khan, and you got to remember, not every brother that comes into this truth, into this, not they really not really in the truth, but anybody that starts coming around, they're not always going to be your brother, right? Even Paul talks about it
Right.
that he dealt with many perils with false brethren, with brothers coming in different pretexts, trying to defame the ministry. So you can't always even I'll bring a precept up real quick. Give some precepts. And everybody knows it's precept, but what we gotta apply them to, right? This is Sirach 6 verse 7. It says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Why? Because you don't know no brother. Just because they coming out the camp, they might got their fringes on. They might know a couple verses. They might know how to break down Deuteronomy 28. That don't mean they really um that don't mean they really in the truth for the right reasons, or they here to be your brother, or they here to no, they just like we're gonna go into, they have COINTELPRO. There's been all throughout the history of time, these nations to take us down, they've come through God and they come through deceit. And we look at Yahweh Shai and his walk. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be an example to us. We also have to take the example of what somebody close to him was the reason for his fall. Somebody close to him was the reason why he got delivered up. So we have to take that example and apply it now. If we're the body of Yahweh Shai and we're following Yahweh Shai, we have to take that example and say, damn, this is going to happen to us in this walk too. Right? This is going to happen to us because this is how brothers, I'm sure brothers sisters seen Judas and the Black Messiah. Right. That's how the nations, they tear us down. They try to get us from within. Right? Because they know we're strong people. Even you go back to Adam and Eve. How did they get Adam? They went to his woman. They went from within. Right? So you have to be aware that every brother is not your brother. Right? You gotta examine brothers. You gotta, like I say, you gotta prove brothers. You gotta, that's why we have all brothers. We gotta I'm sure all camps got it, but we have a prospect program. Brothers got to be in that thing. How long is the prospect program?
Ours? You talking about?
Yeah. How long is ours? Yeah.
Yeah. Now we made it's a long time.
Yeah.
Because we may put it out, and then now an agent may be watching this and like, damn, writing things down. Okay, I gotta do this.
Right.
We gotta be 2 steps ahead of them.
Listen, well, yeah, it's a long time. Brothers is in that. Brothers be waiting to get into the camp, but it's for a reason. It's not because we want to make things tedious or we just want brothers to give up. No, it's because one, we want to see if brothers really want to be in this thing and what they really want to do the work. But two, we want to make sure we prove brothers. Brothers just don't let brothers come to their crib, just come to the feast days. No, we have to prove you first because again, we know how these nations move, and we know how they want to tear us down. They want to tear us down from within. Right. So you got it, King.
Calm. And I'm gonna get that precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11, and verse number 29. Right. It's not using wisdom at all just to invite a brother into your house. Even in the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, what I forget his name in that movie. But the man that pretty much delivered him up, what's his name again?
William O'Neill.
Yeah, William O'Neill. So he pretty much, I mean, he in the movie, he I believe in real life, or whether it's real life or the movie, but he had slipped a drug to Fred Hampton, and it caused him to be drowsy. So later on, when the FBI actually came into this house, he wasn't able to get up out the bed, and they just shot him up. He wasn't able to be circumspect or keep watch. So they damn gave him a drug, and the brother Fred Hampton allowed he thought William was his Will thought he was his right hand. Damn near he worked his way up into the system in the camp. in a congregation. That's the same thing as damn Judas Iscariot.
Right.
Working his way up right there with Yahweh Shai doing the work. Now the Lord knew who was going to deliver him up. But nevertheless, the point is, like the brother said, Yahweh Shai is our example. Right. So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 11, and I'll start at verse 29. It says, bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man had many trains. So we got to be circumspect from here on out. If you haven't been thinking about it already, going forward, you can't just let any old person into your house. And what is it talking about? It's not only is it talking about not letting somebody just actually walk into your house, but also into your mind, into your congregation. You may not be a more further established camp, but the Lord may be putting on your spirit to go out and do the work. Hey, if you're going out and do the work, you got to prove these brothers. Let's go to 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1. That'd be foolish just to go out to camp and do the work with a brother. A brother hits you up on Instagram and you like, look, you've been waiting. You might have been praying that the Lord sent brothers with you. Just so happened the brother, a brother hits you up. He goes out with you, and then you just trusting the brother. You just full on, just open up. Look, brother, I've been dealing with this, and that. Now the brother, he's thinking about how to overthrow you, thinking about taking that information and giving it back to Esau, because we're gonna go to the accounts, whether in the world or in this truth. There was men that always have done those different things, taking that information, using it against you to damn sell out to the white man. This is the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God. So the Lord said you can't just believe any old person or any old spirit. You got to try those spirits. You're not just going to lay down with a woman. That'd be foolish. That's off. You need to prove this woman. You need to know what's going on with this woman. Can she cook? Can she clean? Can she take correction? That'd be foolish just to lay down with somebody. So it'll be also foolish just to damn trust the brother. And I would say this too. When brothers go to war, go out to camp, we're going out to war. Any given second, we liable to die out there. Any given second, we liable to be arrested. Any given second, then we liable to we're going to war against these spirits as well. So we're liable to be sifted out of this truth. Brothers can get confounded out there if they're not in the right state of mind. If they with men that's not moving in the right spirit, men that's damn being provocateurs and so on and so forth. That's what the scriptures speak about, not laboring with bold fellows. Men that's they just can be niggas. They can cause a whole uproar and not stay in the spirit and not control themselves and let wrath and anger them overthrow them. Now the whole congregation jammed up because a brother couldn't control himself. So you got to be circumspect of who you labor with. Now I got one more precept, real quick.
I had a point.
Con, you got it.
Going back to your point, the precept about letting brothers in your crib. I don't know if you remember this account, but I remember the one time we was holding a new moon at one of the feast days at a brother's crib, and there was a new brother in the congregation, and well, he wasn't in the congregation. He really had just showed up. Now, come to find out, the brother, he's a solid brother, but regardless, right. We invited every. You said what?
From what we know, you're a solid brother.
Yeah, from what we know, he's a solid brother. Now, we inviting people, and this brother, he didn't really want this new brother at the crib because he's again going through the precepts, going through the word of the Most High. Not everybody should come to your house. Not everybody. You can't let everybody in the crib. So he was like, certain brothers can't come. We go to the brother's crib, and this brother, he just popped up. Right? Somebody gave him the address, but he was the first one there. All right, he just popped up, and that brother that was having the feast day, the new moon, he was pissed.
Right.
Why? Because he just doesn't. Brothers shouldn't just be so forthcoming and just letting brothers. I know we are loving people, we have to show love to our brothers, but you have to do it in wisdom. Right? You can't just be letting everybody come in your house. You just met this brother today, and now you just tell him he can come over. Let's watch the game. No, it's a way you have to move in wisdom, and that's why we have the scriptures to give us wisdom. You just can't be out there moving like loose cannons.
And to add to the brother's point, not only did he just pop up, we went back to the brother's house and we opened the door because he unlocks the door, and the brother's literally sitting on his couch. The brother was in the brother's house. And now
I forgot about that part too, because the brother, he wasn't even home. He was with us. And the brother, he was just in the brother crib. Somebody let him in, but you just can't be letting brothers to your house. You understand? It's not wise. Because you just don't know who brothers are. And that's what we're going through the precepts for, to show brothers that you can't trust everybody. Everybody can't be trusted. And we're going to go to different accounts, just not even in the scriptures. We're going to go to different accounts with the Black Panther Party and different organizations that we had as a people that obviously wasn't the truth, but that we had as a people, and it got taken down by our own people. Right? So that's what we're going into.
Yeah, that was like brother said, that was madness. But let's go to this. So this Galatians chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse number 4. Right? Galatians chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, and that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privily to spy out our liberty. So there are certain men who would try to join the congregation and is trying to be a part of this thing just to spy out liberty. And I'll say this too. It's not just men. There are some sisters that we known about. There's a sister, I'm not going to say her name or nothing like that. Elder sister. But come to find out, I mean, this sister, you gotta be circumspect, both men and women that's in this truth. Right, reading on. It says, who came in privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in a Mashiach Yahushai, that they might bring us into bondage. So them bringing us into bondage is not only bringing us into dealing with different spirits. Because a brother may have some spirits on him, and you ain't proved this brother or this sister, and now you got those spirits on you as well. But also bringing us into bondage is talking about being locked up in prison, being delivered up to the councils. Like we're gonna go through with the precepts. There's different men who are gonna come through to deliver you up and sell out the nation of Israel for money, for gain, maybe just because he hated his brother and he always had a hatred in his heart for a certain brother. It's different. It's all different types of reasons why someone could do this, and we put this video out here so you can be in that mindset to know, look, you can't forget about this. We a nation that's of love. We show brotherly love, sisterly love, so on and so forth. But there's also those who feign themselves to be Israelites. They may put on the mitri. Sister may say shalom. She may then cook for brothers, whatever the case may be, and bring sandwiches to camp or make garments. Or brother, he may make staffs or whatever the case may be. He may make garments. And you trust in this brother, and you all the while, this man, he was plotting against you. He's been working for the adversary to then find different ways to trip you up and deliver you up. You understand? So you gotta be circumspect. You gotta prove brothers. You gotta prove sisters. Right now, I did have. Of course, we got some more precepts. Do you want to get in? Do you want to pull a precept, or you want to? We can get into some of the stuff that we got pulled up. Some of these articles.
Yeah, you can get into it.
So if Israel doesn't know, there was this agenda. I'm gonna share my screen. There was an agenda that was set up in the 60s known as COINTELPRO. I'm gonna share my screen. Salakia. Right? So we have something known as COINTELPRO that was set up against us. And hold on, this is not what I want. I think this is this is what I want right here. All right, so COINTELPRO is a program. Now it says it was from 1956 until 1971. But when we go into this thing, I mean, they definitely didn't stop it in 1971. Right. So we're gonna go into it. But so COINTELPRO, it says it derived from counterintelligence program. It says 1956 and 1971 was a series of covert and illegal projects actively conducted by the United States FBI aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting domestic American political organizations. Let's go into this word infiltrating. This word infiltrate. It says enter or gain access to. Gain access to an organization, place, etc. It says damn, that's a word right there. Brother, can you pronounce that word, King? Or if not, we're going to just continue on. Damn, I'm not even going to try it. Right, continuing on. It says especially in order to acquire secret information. So I'm going to read this again real quick. This is Galatians chapter 2 and verse 4. And that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privately or privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in the Mashiach Yahushua. Because the Lord said all men have not faith. Right, let me get that real quick. This 2 Thessalonians, right, chapter 3 and verse 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 2. I start at 1. It says, finally, brethren, pray for us that the word of the Lord may have free course and be glorified even as it is with you. Because we need to pray that this word is able to go out in the earth. You understand? It has free course, meaning it's not being hindered. Now, why is Paul speaking about this? Let's read verse 2. And that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men, for all men have not faith. So there's unreasonable and wicked men who don't have the faith of Yahweh Shem Shai, who don't believe in this truth, but simply they're here to spy out the liberty that we have in the Lord, to acquire secret information. That's what it means to damn infiltrate something. You understand? I'm gonna get another precept real quick. So there was men in time past who came in to spy out the liberty that the saints had, that we have. There was other men who took certain information and gave it for sale to the other nations. We're gonna go to that real quick in First Maccabees. It's First Maccabees chapter 10, and I'll start at verse 60. First Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 60, and it reads, I believe this is what I want, this account. It says, who thereupon went honorably to Ptolemais, where he met the two kings, and gave them and their friends silver and gold and many presents, and found favor in our sight. At that time, certain pestilent fellows of Israel, men of a wicked life. You don't want to be a man of a wicked life. Look, brother, if you're a part of this COINTELPRO, or whatever the case may be, you need to turn and repent. You understand? If the Lord still allow you that grace and mercy to do so, you moving in wickedness right now. Or sister, the Lord has given certain men and women a spirit of discernment to analyze what the hell is going on. We're not Fred Hampton. We're not damn Malcolm X that's not going to be able to see through the facade. The Lord is going to give brothers understanding in those days to see if a man is a damn agent and if he got to be removed from the congregation. Right, so let's read on. It says, men of a wicked life assembled themselves against him to accuse him, but the king would not hear them. Yeah, more than that. Now, I don't think this is actually what I wanted. Right, I don't think it's the account I wanted. But there's another account. Most I will and I can find it. I'm gonna get this real quick in 2 Maccabees. right? Because there's an account of these men who actually sold their brethren out for money, like we had mentioned. I believe I wanted second. It might have been First Maccabees 11 in verse 20, right? First Maccabees chapter 11. Yeah, and I think that's what I want. First Maccabees chapter 11 and verse 20. It says, at that same time, Jonathan gathered together them that were in Judea to take the tower that was in Jerusalem, and he made many engines of war against it. Then certain ungodly persons who hated their own people went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower. So what are these men doing? They're literally taking this secret information and giving it over to their adversaries. Let's read on. It says, whereon, when he heard, he was angry, and immediately removing, he came to Ptolemais and wrote unto Jonathan that he should not lay siege to the tower, but come and speak with him at Ptolemais in great haste. Nevertheless, Jonathan, when he heard this, commanded to besiege it still, and he chose certain of the elders of Israel and the priests and put himself in peril. Right, the rest right there. But the point of the matter is, there's going to be all brothers that's in this truth are not brothers. You understand? Or all brothers that's quote unquote in this truth are not brothers that's actually in this truth, I should say. Right? Just because a brother is out there holding a staff and holding posts, maybe he's reading, it doesn't mean, maybe he's teaching. And maybe he's leading. That doesn't mean that he's actually someone, because we're going to go into it. This COINTELPRO was so deep that these men were literally sent to sift out the whole congregation. Whether it was now these men, they were doing things on the left-hand side, but nevertheless, the Black Panther Party, different organizations that were set up, there was different agents and what's the other word I'm thinking of? Informants that were sent in to see what's going on, to give back report, and to find different ways to pull down that whole congregation. You want to add on that, King?
Yeah, Khan, because this whole COINTELPRO, like the brothers going into, it's all really just spying. You know, is there's another word for damn spying.
Espionage.
Espionage, right? So basically, it's the FBI sending damn spies on whatever organization that they're trying to infiltrate, and that's exactly what they did with the Lord, right? And brother just brought it out. That's what they did at the time of the Maccabees, and again, that's what they do with our people, time in and time out through the annals of time. They send spies to try to catch brothers in their words or find out what the core meaning of the movement is and things like that. So this is Luke 20 and verse 20. I'm gonna start at 19. It says, and the chief priests and the scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. Verse 20. And they watched him and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men. So when you go into the COINTELPRO, when they send in spies, they send them in, and what they have to act like they're with they're getting down with the get down, or they're getting down with a certain organization. They're going to send people into the to different camps and different organizations that's going to act like they're a part of that, like they really want to be in that organization. You're not going to be able to tell really who these spies are, because they're going to be people that are close to you. Just like obviously the Lord knew who was going to betray him, but Judas was close. He was part of the 12. The 12 didn't know who he was, right? The 12, when they sat at the table with Yahushua, and he said, and I'm gonna bring out the account. He said, one of you guys is going to betray me. They said, who is it? Because they didn't even know that Judas, he was the one that was infiltrating the whole thing. So what? They sent forth spies even with the Lord, right? It says, I'm gonna read it again. And they watched him and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men, that they may take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him into the power of the authority and the governor. And that's what they want to do. They want to bring us down and deliver us up. They want to catch us in our words, catch us saying something. And you know, Esau, they're gonna, even if we're not saying something that they want to hear, they're gonna cut it. They're gonna cut it up. They're gonna chop it up, put it together, make it sound like we're some damn terrorists, things of that nature. That's what they want to do when you're going into this COINTELPRO, you're going into the FBI. That's what they want to do, and they did the same thing with the Lord, right? So again, you have to use these things as an example, because these are the same things that's going to happen to the men of the Lord.
Come on, I got a precept. This is the book of St. John, chapter 15, and I'll start at verse 20. St. John 15 and 20. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. It's like the brother was saying, you know, the same as they did this to our Lord, the same as they're going to do that to us. It says, if they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So if they, when the Lord is saying they have kept my saying, they're watching brothers' videos. We're definitely led to believe that they're watching this live right now. Esau is looking at different ways on how to trap us, how to get us, how to use our words against us. You understand? So what they're going to try to, they may take our videos, chop them up, and I believe the brother already said this, but chop them up and use and try to create a new narrative. And even they got different technology right now, like AI technology, where it'll make us say things using brothers' voices.
Yeah.
They got data that analyzes all the videos that we have every time brothers out there teaching, then has this damn AI technology to sound like a brother. You thinking this brother Yazarah shaking the hand and bringing out the word, whole time is damn computer programming.
Right.
Hold on. Bear with me 1 second. We got spirits in this damn chat.
Yeah, I've been peeping.
We're just gonna get him out of there. See, I'm not I don't like to play games. We're just gonna remove you. We don't gotta. It's like having a scoffer when we out there teaching. We're just gonna cut you up with the word and get you out of there. Not just gonna linger around the camp.
That's her second account too.
Yeah. That's the damn agent. How you got two accounts? First you was Auntie, now you Lady Culture.
Yeah, right.
Auntie and Lady Culture.
Ain't got nothing else better to do.
Right, in the middle of the night.
Right.
But back to it. So they may chop up our speech, and you thinking it's Elder Zabak or one of the brothers teaching, and guess what? The whole time it was damn technology.
Yeah.
Damn AI technology, software is the word I'm trying to think of. Right? But Salaki, I got one more precept on that.
Mm.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 18, and I'll start at verse. I'll start at 17. This St. John chapter 18, and I'll start at verse 20. I'll start at 19. It says the high priest then asked Yahushua of his disciples and of his doctrine. So they came to Yahushua and they tried to tempt him, asking him about who else is with him, what does he teach, so on and so forth. And brothers, there's no guessing. You understand? What we teach is not a mystery. Although we read Galatians chapter 2 and verse 4, they're trying to creep in and spot our liberty. It's not a mystery. We're teaching that we're God's chosen people. The Hebrew Israelites are the so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native and Seminole Indians. They're all the other nations. They're going to go in captivity, right? When we're back in the kingdom, that is the kingdom. For them to be in slavery and for us to rule over the earth. Yahushua is the so-called black man. He's going to be the king over this earth. The Most High God, he's our God only. He's not the God to the other nations. So these things are not mysteries. The Lord has a chosen group of men known as 144,000. The chosen men, women, and children are known as a 1/3. These are not mysteries. We speak about it all the time. But guess what? Nevertheless, they're going to try to take that and twist that against us. Verse 20. Yahushua answered him, I spake openly to the world. Right, brothers on the corners each and every week, on these live streams, on YouTube, we speak openly, or he speaks like it. It says, I speak openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whether the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. So we not really, there's nothing that's a mystery that we teach about. We make these scriptures known because that's what we're supposed to do as lights to the world. Reading on. Why askest thou me? Ask them which heard me. What I have said unto them, behold, they know what I said. So Yahushua said straight like that. You know what's going on. You know what we've been teaching about. It's not a mystery. But nevertheless, they still want to have men creep in, act as if they with us, and when they're really not with us. I actually got another precept on that if I can find that. Yeah. Actually, I think I found it. Might have. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this quick precept. Because there's men that's going to act like they with us, but they never was really with us.
Right.
It's 1 John chapter 2 and verse 19. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 19. It says, they went out from us, but they were not of us. So there's men that may be a part of the congregation and different congregations, so on and so forth, but they're pretending to be like they're men of the Lord. It says they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us, but they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. So there's certain people, they may join the congregation, say Shalom, Kwame Sharala, be out there for a few weeks. And then when their superior tells them to go, whoever is over them, damn Esau, says, look, it's time to go. Then they, yeah, man, I tried that Hebrew Israelite thing out, man, blase, blah, going into it, saying, oh, this a cult. They do this, and that. To damn sow discord. The Lord hates a man that sows discord. You had a point, King?
Yeah, no. I was just agreeing with you.
Come. So
Are you done on that? You done on that precept?
Yeah, you got it.
I had a precept. Then I kind of want to go into the clip that I have, if I can. Come. So, like I referenced the verse, but I'm actually get it. It says Matthew 26. Where do I want to go? I would just go to 20. This is Matthew 26 and verse 20. It says, now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. Like I said earlier, Yahushua, he already knew before he even picked the 12 who was going to betray him. But what the other 11 apostles, they didn't know who was going to betray him. Why? Because these men, when they infiltrate, they try to make it seem like they're a brother. They try to make it seem like they're a sister. They try to make it seem like they're down for the cause when they're really not. Right? They try to blend in. It says, verse 22, and they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? Verse 23, and he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. So basically what he's saying is, somebody close to me they're the one that's going to betray me. And that's how we have to examine that and take from that scripture. It's going to be somebody that you don't even know that might be close to it. Like the brother said, he might be a leader. He might be a teacher. He might be a brother that you've known for years. You started in the truth with this brother, but what? They could be the one that's trying to betray you. They could be the one that the government has set up to infiltrate this thing, right? That's how they move. That's how they operate. That's what the Lord is saying. He said, basically, that's what he's saying. Because again, it's not always, he's not just talking about it's somebody that you eat with. No, it's somebody that's close to you, right? Because what when you're breaking bread with somebody, that's usually somebody close to you. So that's what he's saying. It's going to be somebody close to you that's going to do that to you, right? And I got this. And we went into it, like the brother said. I'm gonna share my screen. I don't know how to do the sound though.
So when you click on the you got to go to, you'll hit present, then you hit share screen, then you hit that button share screen again. Then you go over to the one that says entire screen.
Okay.
And then it should have like a little box at the bottom that actually, if you want to share the audio.
Do I gotta go over to the?
Yeah, click present, then click share screen. Then after that, you'll click entire screen.
Right.
Then it should say at the bottom, also share system audio, and you just click that.
Okay.
You see it?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's not even letting me share the entire screen. Though. I don't understand. Okay, hold on. I think I got it.
There we go.
All right, bet. Now let me know if you can hear the audio.
Come on.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Try it again.
So like, you bear with us as well. Bear with us.
But Khan, so as we going into, there's different men that's literally set up just to deliver Israel. Judah's whole role in life was to deliver up our Lord, and that's a heavy lot. I mean, that's terrible. You're literally selected from the beginning of the world to be the one to deliver up the Lord. That's why you got to make sure you operate in the fruits of the Spirit. You understand? Really, you can't do nothing to prevent that. The Lord, if He has you set up to be a damn agent, a false brethren, look, it is what it is. But nevertheless, we got to make sure we being circumspect and moving in sincerity of heart, in a spirit, with love toward our brothers, with love toward our nation. You understand? You can have an evil spirit on you and you don't check it, and then the Lord give you over to your ruin, and then you damn agent. Camp bashing. Now you a camp basher.
Right.
That's, I mean, they sow discord. That's a role of an agent too. Don't think an agent is someone that's to take down a top brother in Israel, whoever you may deem that to be, whoever the case may be. There's men that just sent out also to sow discord, to cause division amongst the congregation. Now the whole congregation used to be moving in one way, love and unity. Now one brother, he's whispering behind his one brother's back. Oh, he said this about you. Then he goes to the other brother. He said this. Then, but he never puts it out in the forefront. And over time, now it's a whole damn spirit of damn evil in the congregation. So the whole congregation just blow up, damn near.
Right.
Brothers gotta watch that. You got it, King. I got you on the You got it.
Let me know if you can hear the audio.
Come.
My neighborhood was not unlike most people.
Okay, kind. So basically, if y'all don't know, I'm gonna give a quick rundown, right? So this is William O'Neill. We mentioned him earlier. This is the guy that went in and infiltrated the Black Panther Party. He's the one that, like the brother said, he set up. What's the brother's name?
Fred Hampton in
Fred
Chicago.
Hampton. Right, in
21
Chicago.
years old.
Right. So this is the guy, right? So quick rundown. He was 19 years old. He got into he stole a car with his friend. They went and they took it into a different city. They crashed it. They ran. They took a bus back to their regular city. A few months later, he got a call from the FBI, right? Talking about the FBI was saying he knows what they did. And the FBI was like, it's okay. You can pay it back to us. Boom, couple months go by. They call him again. And they tell him, okay, this is what you're going to do to pay it back. You're going to go and join the Black Panther Party. That's basically it. That's how he got into the Black Panther Party, and it went on from there. And he grew in the Black Panther Party. But this is going to show you that they put people in positions to where they blend in, into where they get close to people and they grow, and that you won't even know that they're an agent. You won't even know that they're agent provocateur. You won't even know that they're in there spying. Or someone play this. Should I go full screen or is it cool?
Whatever you want to do, Ken.
Okay.
That grew up in Chicago. Most young people, we were very mischievous and did a lot of juvenile type petty criminal type things, but stealing a car and all of a sudden having the FBI, having a case with the FBI that thought of having really going to jail got my attention. And so when he asked me to join the Black Panther Party, and he used terms, he never used the word informant. He always said, "You're working for me." And I associated him as the FBI. So all of a sudden, I was working for the FBI, which in my mind at that point, I associated with being an FBI agent. So I felt good about it. I felt like I was working undercover for the FBI, doing something good for the finest police organization in America. And so I was pretty proud.
Yeah, great.
Change your marks.
Okay.
3089.
Camera roll number 3089.
Did you ever think, or did Mitchell ever try to convince you that the Black Panthers were a threat to national security? How do you understand what the FBI's interest was?
Well, I think Mitchell, the relationship between I and Mitchell concentrated on the local activities. We talked very little about what was going on nationally early on in the game. Later on, when Bobby Seale and the guys would come to town, it took on a national scope. But right then and there, we were concentrated on the local chapter. And later on, I understood that his thinking in that regard, he wanted me to build up some credibility within the Black Panther Party. So he gave me a lot of room, a lot of leash at that point. He let me become a Panther before I became a FBI informant. I mean, I didn't go right in, rifling draws. He directed me into the Panthers, and then when I got there, he backed off, and he let them work on me a while. And slowly it worked. I became a Black Panther in a way. I forgot the scope of me being there. In fact, I didn't really know why I was there. I just knew I was to report, but I really didn't have anything to report early on in the game. So I concentrated mainly on Panther duties. I lived the life of a Panther.
Tell me about that. How did you, what was the work that you did, and how did you rise up through the ranks of the party?
Well, mainly from day one, we had very little personnel, a lot of spots to fill. There were a lot of activity, a lot of things to do. And so naming positions at that point and filling those positions were really the leadership's responsibility at that point. And because of my knowledge of electronics and, I was just a handyman basically around the office. And we had this office building that they felt like wasn't too secure. I started working right away to secure the building. And in that regard, I fell right into the security position. And it got more sophisticated as donations started to flow. As the membership increased as a result of speaking engagements on the school campuses and so forth, my responsibilities doubled. And so I was given a staff of security people. And then I just advanced from that point on.
So that's really, we ain't gonna watch the whole thing, but you see, he said that when he got into the Panthers, they let him become a Panther. He forgot why he was even there. So what? He got close to people. You see how he was saying he advanced in rank and things of that nature. So what? That's how they operate. That's why the Lord said, "He that dippeth his hand in the dish is the same one that's going to betray me." Meaning what? It's going to be brothers that's close. It's going to be brothers that you wouldn't even think might be spies. Why? Right? But that's why the Lord, he gave us discernment. So you have to be able to discern brother spirits. You have to, that's why the brother read, what was that in 1 John? Was it the 4th chapter, 4:1? It said, try brother spirits to see if they are of the Most High. Because there's going to be brothers that they put in there, that rise up in the ranks, that really might truly not be in this thing, but you might be able to discern through the spirit that something's not right with that brother. And quick point, You could see it in his eyes that this brother that did that, he was full of regret. He ended up damn offing himself. The day
Right.
that interview came out, he killed himself because he knew everything that he did, it was eating him up inside. And the same thing would happen to Judas. All right, so I know the brother, he has something that he wanted to go into.
I have there's another brother. His name is Darthur Perry, and he kind of just like this brother William. What's the other brother name? William Perry.
Oh no, William O'Neill.
William O'Neill, Salakia. But Darthur Perry, he we're gonna pull it up, but I do want to show. I'm gonna go back to this COINTELPRO because the original goal, the goal of it is to quote unquote prevent the rise of a black messiah, they had said. Right. So I'm gonna show you this real quick. This is counterintelligence program. Actually, I'll just get it from this other website, right? From Dan Wiki. Right. So it says COINTELPRO. It says it was projects actively conducted by the United States FBI aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting domestic American political organizations. And if they did it for things on the left-hand side, and they know that's just little parties and so on and so forth, and those things are not the truth, how much more of the truth? How much more us teaching the word? How much more us actually, having brothers and sisters all across the United States and really across the earth that's not buying and selling on the Sabbath? Whether you keep the lunar Sabbath, whether you keep the Friday, Sunday, and the Saturday, Sunday on Sabbath. Point of the matter is, there is days in this economy where money is not being, moved. That's crippling the economy. We're no longer eating pork. We're no longer eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. Brothers is no longer going to the local damn bodega and corner store and buying a damn a pack of Black and Milds or some roll up. Brothers actually coming out of iniquity and evil and sin, and they hate that because right now the Lord has the light of this world to be darkness and darkness to be chosen rather than light. Paraphrasing in Isaiah, the 5th chapter. So reading on, it says FBI records show that COINTELPRO resources targeted groups and individuals the FBI deemed subversive. Then it'd be subversive, meaning you went against the establishment. Subversive refers to the process by which the values and principles of a system in place are contradicted or reversed in an attempt to sabotage the established social order and its structures of power, authority, tradition, hierarchy, and social norms. So they set up COINTELPRO to go against anything that they felt was subversive, meaning went against their establishment, went against the normal. That's what we read in Acts chapter 16. Let's read it again. This Acts chapter 16, and I'm going to read verse 20. It says, and brought them to the magistrates, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. So they're saying, look, these men, they're going against with the norm. They're going against the way of Caesar. They're going against the way of America. We got to go ahead and shut this down. We got to go and send out these agents. These men ain't waking up. How the hell it went from one camp, One West, back in 1968, to now it's a whole slew of different camps and congregations. Not only is it in America, but now you got men waking up in China. Hold on, we got to stop this. We got to put our foot down. Look, let's send these niggas that we caught, they were stealing, they was scamming, whatever case may be. Let's send them back out into these congregations to figure out what's going on. Who's really their true leader? And our true leader is Yahushua, none other than the Lord, the creator of the earth. Right? So continuing on, hold on, damn. I didn't mean to click on that. let's go down. So it says the FBI has used covert operations against domestic political groups since its inception. However, covert operations under the official COINTELPRO label took place between 1956 and 71. Many of the tactics used in COINTELPRO are alleged to have seen continued use. It says many have continued use, including discrediting targets through psychological warfare. They call it psyops, right? Smearing individuals and groups using forged documents. And the equivalent of using forged documents today is by what we was talking about earlier. They might have AI damn videos of brothers saying that they're gonna go blow up a damn building or whatever the case may be. They may take what I just said right there and twist it and then use it against us, right? It says, and by planting false reports in the media. They always plant false reports against us, saying that we're a hate group. We're actually a love group. We're actually the only group on the earth that is all about love. We're all about loving our brothers and sisters. That's why we do this. We the true people that actually love in the earth, and the whole damn earth hates us. You understand? So that are real hate groups. But continuing on, it says harassment, wrongful imprisonment. They're going to wrongfully imprison certain brothers, right? It says that let's go to this real quick. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 10. So again, these things we see, they linking right back up, right, with the scriptures. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. And it reads, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Meaning there's going to be a period of time where the Lord's going to have certain men and women be led away into these prisons. Read on. It says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Because you may be sitting in that prison, and I'll speak on it as well. I had plenty of dreams about being locked up in prison. And one of the most recent ones, I asked them, look, let me keep my Bible. Let me keep my Bible on me. I always keep one of these on me, right? This deuce. Small little Bible you can get from Amazon for about $10. And I normally keep it on me, wherever I'm going. So in a dream though, pretty much I had the camp attire on, pretty much the WFI shirt, black cargo pants, whatever the case may be. But they was trying to grab me up, or they did grab me up and about to put me into a cell. But I was like, hold on. And they told me to take everything off, but I was like, nah, I need to keep my Bible. So they said, all right, we got you. We'll let you keep your Bible. But they took everything else. And I was actually in, I think it's called solitary confinement. It was a damn dark room, but the only true light I had was this Bible. I didn't get a chance to read the Bible, nothing like that. That was the end of the dream. But hey, they're going to the point of the matter is they're going to put people in prison, right? Be ready to be sent in prison. We talked about that last week. They got special prisons for us called damn Guantanamo Bay, right? Go look it up, right? So continuing on, it says illegal violence and assassinations, right? So they also have killed certain men. They killed Martin Luther King. They killed Fred Hampton, so on and so forth. When even they killed their own guy, JFK, right? He was a part of this COINTELPRO system they had set up. Now, I want to get a specific thing real quick, and then we can check out something else. So here we go. It says a March 1968 memo stated the program's goal was to prevent the coalition of militant Black nationalist groups. So it was started for this reason. They wanted to stop militant Black nationalist groups. Well, hold on. Brothers, we have rank. So we have, we're militant. You understand? They would deem us as militant. We're so-called Black. The world will call us Black, but we know we're the Hebrew Israelites. And we're a nationalist group because we believe in our nation and our nation only, the nation of Israel. So this was literally created to prevent us. Now, it says when. This is March 1968. This same year, the truth first started being pushed out. Literally. Even over here, it says, amid the urban unrest of July to August 1967, the FBI began COINTELPRO Black Hate, which focused on King and the SCLC, as well as the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. It says Black Hate established a ghetto informant program and instructed 23 FBI officers to disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of Black nationalist hate type organizations. So why the hell would this be stopped? This is not over with. Still going on to this day.
Right.
We're gonna look into this ghetto informant program. That's but I'm gonna read this part right here, then you got it, King.
Yeah, come.
It says to prevent the rise of a Messiah who could unify the militant Black nationalist movement. So they wanted, it says, to pinpoint potential troublemakers and neutralize them before they exercise their potential for violence against authorities. Prevent militant Black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability. So they don't want brothers like us to grow. They want to stop you before you can even let your light shine before men. It says by discrediting them to both the responsible community and to liberals who have vestiges of sympathy, and to prevent the long-range growth of militant Black organizations, especially amongst the youth. So they hate this. They hate me and this brother being on this live right now at 1:47 a.m. We could be smoking weed. We could be playing 2K. We could be playing Dan Madden or whatever else is out there. Could be playing Fortnite if people still play that. We could be doing those different things, but guess what? We not. And we teaching this Bible, and we're going to continue to teach this Bible until the day that we get shot down, until the day they put us in prison, until the day that the Lord call us back home. But you got it, King.
And that's the spirit, because I was just about to go into that Black Messiah part. I'm gonna share my screen because literally J. Edgar Hoover, I think you probably read about him in that did you read about him in that article?
Yeah, he was the director at the at that time. So that was his speech.
Yeah. Basically, he was the head of the FBI, right? So this is what we're gonna get his quote. It says, well, this is from the Atlantic. It says the unsettling message of Judas and the Black Messiah, right? So we're just gonna go down. I'm just read the first paragraph. It says the Black Panthers are the single greatest threat to our national security. Our counterintelligence or COINTELPRO must prevent the rise of a Black Messiah from among their midst. Also so begins Judas and the Black Messiah with an ominous speech from the FBI director J. Edgar Hoover, played by Martin Sheen in 1968. So that was the whole goal of the COINTELPRO was to what? To stop the rise of a Black Messiah, right? Because we not tribe banging or anything like that, but they're mainly trying to keep down the tribe of Judah because they know once Judah starts to rise up, the rest of the tribes they're going to follow. So what? They have to keep Judah down by any means necessary, right? And if brothers and sisters know what speech they killed Martin Luther King after, I want to see if brothers and sisters, if anybody knows in the chat, what speech did they kill Martin Luther King after? Because again, they don't want somebody like the brother read with that influence that can influence the masses. Say they find out the truth and they already got all this influence on the people. Now they putting the doctrine of the truth on them, and now all of these people is waking up. I don't see anybody saying anything in the chat. Maybe brothers and sisters don't know, but it was his mountaintop speech. Right, when he said, I have seen the mountaintop. I've seen the mountaintop. What was he talking about? if you really go in deep into that speech and what he was saying, he was bringing out so many references of the so-called black man in America being God's chosen people. Why? Because he had figured these things out. Right? He figured out, even you can go into it. He said before he died that he had integrated his people into a burning building. Basically, is what he said. Right? I want to go into the speech just a little bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's long, but I want to read. Let me see. I want to read like maybe a paragraph or two because you can see that Martin Luther King he was finding out who his people were, right? Let me see.
Right. And two, while you finding that,
Yeah.
The public enemy number one, it mentioned Martin Luther King, or it mentioned the Black Panther Party, but that was in 1968. They already killed Martin Luther King. If I'm not mistaken, he died in what, 67? So they already got rid of.
Yeah.
Con, you got it.
Con. Now this is a speech, right? It's a long speech, so I'm not going to read all of it, brothers and sisters. If you want to really go into the speech, you can go on YouTube and hear him speak it, or you can go into it and go and read it if you want to. But I'm gonna just read a couple paragraphs from it. Right? It says, "Now, what does all of this mean in the great period of history? It means that we've got to stay together. We've got to stay together and maintain unity. You know, whenever Pharaoh wanted to prolong the period of slavery in Egypt, he had a favorite formula for doing it. What was that? He kept the slaves fighting among themselves. But whenever the slaves get together, something happens in Pharaoh's court. He cannot hold the slaves in slavery. When the slaves get together, that's the beginning of getting out of slavery. Now let us maintain unity." Why is he referencing Pharaoh? Why is he referencing the slaves that was in Egypt? Right? Why is his speech called the mountaintop speech? It's because he was starting to formulate these things and see that, okay, I get who we are now, right? And this is why they killed him. I'm gonna go down. It says, "Now we're going to march again, and we've got to march again in order to put the issue where it is supposed to be and force everybody to see that there are 1,300 of God's children here suffering, sometimes going hungry, going through dark and dreary nights, wondering how this thing is going to come out. That's the issue. And we've got to say to the nation, we know it's coming out. For when people get caught up with that which is right and they are willing to sacrifice for it, there is no stopping point short of victory." Let me get one more, and it's going to be the last paragraph. It's going to be the last paragraph of the whole speech. It says, "Well, I don't know what will happen. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it doesn't matter with me now because I've seen the mountaintop." And you go into it. He had just visited Israel not too long before this speech, right? He had went to the Temple Mount, right? This is when the Palestinians or the Arabs, they had control over that portion of land.
Right.
It says, "I've been to the mountaintop, and I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place, but I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will, and He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you," because he knew he was going to die after this. He knew they was going to kill him after he was bringing this speech. He said, "I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. And I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord." So he's bringing these things out. And guess when they killed him? They killed him the next day he died.
Right.
You see that? So they don't want somebody to have that much influence on our people to just wake up the masses of people like that. Right? So they have to do these things to prevent a man from rising up and becoming that man to influence the people. That's why the Lord said in Obadiah that there's going to be saviors, right? There's going to be 144,000 of us that's going to rise up and start teaching the people. Lord willing, we be those men, right? So that's why, like we're going into, they started the COINTELPRO to stop a Black Messiah, to stop somebody from having that pull and influence on the people, to get them to understand who we are. Right.
Absolutely. And even when we go back to it, because we're gonna we'll probably touch on it again, but like I mentioned, Martin Luther King was deemed that. Now brothers get on him, you know, him talking about integration, us getting down with the white man to try to make certain things happen, voting and so on and so forth. But like the brother said, right before he passed, you can see he pretty much repented. He changed. Like, hold on, this is for God's people. We're God's people. Pharaoh, which is in that analogy, he's talking about the white man, wants to keep us down. They don't like that. So that's why they're going to send in these different men to come out against us. And they're already here. I mean, if we live in the last days, you understand, there's most likely different agents and informants all throughout the camps, all throughout Israel. And it's been using our words and trying to twist it. And also, too, it's not too much work that has to be done, because everyone in this truth, everyone in this world, for the most part, you have one of these. Got a damn iPhone. And they have different voice. Sometimes you say Siri, it just automatically pops up. Well, how the hell would she know you said Siri? Now they can say, oh, okay, it's programmed that way. It only activates when you say, you know, Siri or whatever the case may be. Nah, this thing must be listening to you the entire time for it to be able to do that. You understand? So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We have an understanding of what's happening right now, and we're not going to run from it or nothing like that, because we know all these things are set up to happen anyway. So I did want to show before we got some more precepts, but before we even think about winding down, I wanted to show Dr. Perry, because this guy, I definitely encourage Israel to check out the William O'Neill, and then check out this Dr. Perry. This man is just, I mean, I think the man is dead as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go into it. Let me see real quick. Let me know if you can hear it in a second, King. Come.
Consulate, real quick. I seen the brother posting the comments. He said, "Khan, you talk about a topic too long, and you start getting ads for it." Man, the other day I was talking about getting like nachos or something to eat. Boy, the next thing I know was a damn nacho ad on my damn. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. But that's real life though. It's listening to you.
Right. Yeah, go ahead and talk about nachos right now, and say or for real, you talk about whatever you want, and it's going to pop up.
Yeah,
it's going to pop up. But I'm gonna share my screen in a second. Okay, Khan. So let me know if you can hear this. I have timestamps written down. Like I said, this is an hour and 42 minutes, but definitely check this out. So I'm gonna play the beginning a little bit real quick so we understand what this guy is. Oh damn, my damn screen. Can you see the screen, King?
Yeah, Khan.
The name of the informant that we interviewed is Dothard Perry, also known as Ed Riggs, also known as Bill Perry, also known as Othello. He worked for the FBI as an informer who infiltrated various black organizations during the 1960s. Ours is the only full-face on-camera interview that he has conducted thus far. Now, we interviewed him on 2 separate occasions. So for purposes of continuity, we've edited this piece, going from one interview to another according to subject areas. We began with his account of how he was recruited by the FBI.
I was a student.
So this guy, like I mentioned, his name is Dr. William Perry, and he's an FBI informant for different groups, but chiefly the Black Panther Party. If anybody ever heard of George Jackson, I believe his name is George Jackson, over in I forget what part of California it was, but his brother tried to get him out using a gun that was sent into the prison, explosives, so on and so forth. Well, this guy, he was the reason that took place. He was right there. A lot of major events that happened with the Black Panthers, he was one of the guys that was in on it, and different organizations as well. But we're gonna check out a little bit of this.
At Sacramento City College and Sacramento State College. I was stopped in the parking lot one day by a special agent by the name of Frank. He told me a little bit about that he knew that I worked in military intelligence and how would I like to work for him. And also that I knew certain people in the so-called Black radical fringe that they would be very interested in finding different information out about. I told him that my term for military intelligence had been very short-lived, that I was not interested in them and I wasn't interested in him either.
By now, this must have been 1968-ish.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The following month, I was going to school on a federal grant and also a VA loan check. My check didn't come down, either one. I had bought a oscilloscope for television communications.
And Salakia too. Remember, a lot of people, they're going to sell out. The whole reason is called selling out, right? You might have different entertainers, right? Different rappers, so on and so forth. They sell out. They're not necessarily giving up brothers or whatever case may be, but they go against the love of the congregation. They go against the love of the nation of Israel, so on and so forth. Like men that do know certain things, even those that don't know, but they do it to get a gain. And a lot of these men, these informants, they do so as well for some type of money. Like Judas, he delivered up Yahushua for some money. I'm gonna get a quick precept real quick. Right, there's another man in the scriptures as well who had delivered up their brothers for money. Right, it's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 13, and I'm gonna get verse I started at verse 20. 2 Maccabees 13 and 20. For Judas had conveyed unto them that were in it such things as were necessary. It says, but Rhodicus, who was in the Jews' host, disclosed his secrets to the enemies. Therefore, he was sought out. And when they had gotten him, they put him in prison. So there's different men, like I mentioned, who had sold out the brothers for money. This is actually, again, this is not the exact precept I wanted, but the point of the matter is you have those that could be a part of the congregation who could disclose the secrets and do so for gain, right? For personal status, so on and so forth. Like this man we about to check out, Dr. Perry. So he's going into how he got up in this thing. Pretty much they got him same way they got William O'Neill. He was stealing, and then they got him in there. So I'm actually skip ahead real quick. And it's a long interview. You can check it out on your own. Most are willing, but I'm gonna jump to verse, or not verse, but 7-minute mark. It's a long night. Salakia.
Pressure. Some can take it for. I think some might do it for the pay, for the feeling of power. It's a natural syndrome for a powerless person, giving a pedestal where he can direct, or he can say, well, this man goes to jail or this man stays free. They get a feeling of security from it.
For the FBI, did you get an indoctrination or did you just start cold?
No, I got an indoctrination. It started off with camera surveillance, camera surveillance, electronic techniques of surveillance, shadowing,
the obtaining of let's say letters, empty envelopes, or instructions on how to go to somebody's garbage containers and pick out useful items. You'd be surprised at the things that they take out of a garbage can, by the way. I mean, anywhere from the leftover food from breakfast, just to know what this guy used for breakfast, you know.
Esau is filthy. He just said that they had him going through a man's trash to look and see what the man had for breakfast the previous day. I mean, there's no lengths that he won't go to then spy out your liberty and use your own brothers to do so. Right? Let's continue on a little bit. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna skip ahead. I think I wanted the 13-minute mark. Let's go to this next.
It's covering such and such, or your TV station is covering such and such. And yeah, I just like a little bit more information than I've been getting. I need it, you know. It would kind of help me, you know what I mean? Or personal favor. And if you do something for me, maybe I can do something for you, you know, in the future. Like, you know, when we're about to break a case, you'll be the first to know, that kind of thing.
What kind of work did you end up doing as an undercover agent? Were you doing espionage work or informant work?
Informant work, and also what you would call illegal entries, selling of weapons, selling of explosives, arson.
Now they may have these informants sell you garments. Your garments, your crowns. I know brothers like to wear crowns. Maybe you like to get fringes. Maybe you wear zits, whatever the case may be. I mean, it's different purposes and different things that it can use. But we're using this to show you the real life examples, because we can't pull up a man that's an agent that's been in the truth, so on and so forth. We don't really have that ability to do so, but we're sure they're out here because he was doing them for other political or other organizations on the left-hand side. Again, how much more on the right-hand side? And you can stop me if you got a point you want to add to this.
You would sell weapons and explosives to these so-called radical groups that you were joining?
Yes.
All right. Where did you operate?
I was given a cover name, Ed Riggs. With that, I was also given a birth certificate stating that both my parents were, a birth certificate and a record for a Robert Riggs and a Mary Riggs who were deceased.
A brother may say, you know, my name is so and so, and you know they actually may give him a Hebrew name. Got all these brothers that got the name what some common names. Everybody's Gabar or Ariah or Azariah. Everybody got the same name. And one of these men, you know, God forbid anybody in our congregation, but nevertheless, it's a lot of names out here. And they might go on Facebook. Esau might go on Facebook, scroll down and have a list of different brothers and say, okay, we're gonna give you this name. You're Gabar so-and-so. And it's your name, man. We want you to go to this congregation because we want to find out more about this brother. Or your sister so-and-so, your sister Sarah. And then you're going to go to this congregation and you're going to, after 7 months, you're going to court this brother and you're going to get real close with him. And then in the moment when we need you, we're going to take you out of there and we're going to send you to another city. There's no mistake on how sisters just damn congregation hopping. She was with his camp, now she with his camp, now she got the truth. Now she just hated all the camps. Now she camp bashing. Well, that sister might have been a damn agent that they used just to stir strife and discord. Now I'm gonna skip ahead again, actually, in a second.
And you lost all of your true identity?
Yes.
And you operated in California?
California.
What cities in California?
Los Angeles, Oakland, San Francisco, Berkeley, Sacramento, Chino, San Bernardino, Santa Cruz.
Any other states since California?
Yeah. Chicago, Chicago, New York, made 2 trips to Washington, D.C. Also, I better put in Seattle, Washington. That's very important too.
How does? I mean, he's evil. Lord willing, he repented. But like I said, I think this man's dead right now. We're gonna check this part out
How
too.
many agents were working in a given city, like LA?
So the interviewer asked him how many agents were working in a specific city. Let's see what he says.
In the late 60s.
Jesus, we're talking about a lot of people. Like I said before, in the state, I would say 700 to 1,000. In Los Angeles, which was a large concentrated area of blacks, we're talking about anywhere from 300 to 400 people. San Francisco, probably the same thing. That's a large concentration of black people. Wherever there was a large concentration of blacks or a large concentration of minorities. Don't let me only say blacks, because we're talking about the Chicanos and we're talking about the Chinese too.
But among every ethnic group, there were ethnic groups of that group who could be recruited by the FBI to infiltrate their own.
Right.
Just
see that? He said there's 700,000 in the United States of agents in the 60s. Well, how many decades since the 60s we've been around? What, 6 different decades? 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 10s, and now we're in the damn 2020s. So you telling me that number didn't grow? There's not more agents out here? You telling me that didn't switch over to those that's now in this truth? Different congregations, different Israelites, different people that's, look, you got to keep watch. Now, it was a little more I wanted, but I think we pretty much get the point. Like I said, you can check out this interview on your own. This was posted a few different times. They always try to take this video down, but definitely check it out. Definitely check it out.
Yeah,
You want to ask anything, King?
at one point he goes into some of the equipment they was using back in the 60s. How you could just point.
Yeah, you're right.
Are you gonna get that?
Yeah, I know where it's at. I think I know where it's at. But you can go ahead though.
Nah, if you gonna get it, you're gonna touch on it.
Yeah, I have I got 3 more timestamps written down. I think it might
A lot of course, and they can follow him in everywhere, and they take notes and such. That's not the name of the game. The name of the game is find someone that is close to that man or can get close to that man or that group or whatever, and have him do the legwork.
so in other words, there obviously then would have to be more informants than agents.
Definitely.
What would the ratio be? 10 to 1?
I think every easier, much easier. If they have what they call a prime informant, one that has been trained.
Companies, stock holdings in companies.
It's extra money.
Oh, you mean they get such a big budget and they may not use it in a particular year?
Salaki, I thought I had it one of these damn timestamps, but it's all right though. You can touch on it.
Yeah, no, he was talking about they had this, and this is in the 60s, right? They had a device where they could literally point it in the direction of where people was having a conversation, and it would work up to like 300, 500 yards. Now, a football field, the brothers and sisters watch football. A football field is 100, 120 yards with the end zone. Just it could work up to 5. It could work up to a range of 5 football fields. Now, what do you think they got today? What do you think they're using today to spy on these different groups, especially what we got going on now, the truth? So you got to be, again, this is the 60s that we talking about. So you got to be aware that Esau, they got a whole lot of ways, especially like the brother pointed out with these headphones and not headphones, but yeah, headphones going to the computer. You got a damn camera on your computer. You got a camera on your phone. They're watching you in multiple different ways. They got you. They got this. People say to use a VPN. I'm sure nobody really uses a VPN, but your information is out there. It's public. It's public record, right? And they're watching you. They watch what you do. You understand? So, did you found it?
Yeah, I believe this is it. I do some digging, but let's check it out.
Psychologically and academically and social wise. Who do they run with? Do they go to certain nightclubs? Does this one have a sex hang up? Is the man impudent? You know, anything that can be used later on.
How long was this indoctrination process?
It lasts anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. What is the most sophisticated equipment that you use as far as eavesdropping is concerned?
The video setup, and also I work with the new, I think it's called parabolic reflectors for sound pickup. Very interesting piece of equipment.
How is that used?
Okay, it reminds you of a disc. Have you ever seen those radioscopes?
Yeah.
You know how they're a disc and then there is a
cone behind it, like
cone in the center, right?
Yeah.
Okay, these parabolic reflectors were just like that, except a smaller version, and you would point it in the direction of where you wanted to pick up the sound from.
And how far away can it pick up sound?
Oh, I think it was anywhere from the ones I use from 200 to 500 yards.
What?
Oh yeah,
Distinct?
Distinct, very distinct. You could be in a building, like say we're here right now, okay? Okay, not the next building, but the building behind. Let's say it's a little bit taller. Okay, I could point that parabolic reflector from there to this window, and I could pick up. That's how good it was.
Now, this was, like the brother was saying, this was in his 60s.
It's crazy.
In his 60s. I got a quick precept. Just the book of Psalm, chapter 64, and I'll start at verse 6. It says, Psalm 64 and verse 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. For them to create devices like this in the 60s, how much more this damn iPhone? I'm not upgrading this damn iPhone. I don't know what new technology it may have, so on and so forth. Look, if anything, we need to go back to the flip phones. But I mean, back in the 60s, he had a device where he could point it at a window from 2 buildings away. And they can listen to a full-on conversation crystal clear. So it says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. Right? Because they try to lay snares against our people. They would take your words and twist it and manipulate it. Like I said earlier, to discredit you, to disprove you, to take the credibility and respectability away from you. They was leaking different, I don't know if there was real tapes or fake tapes of Martin Luther King being with different women, and the FBI was sending it back to his wife, who was at home. So while he's out, teaching and whatever case may be, his woman was back home, hearing audio tapes and so on and so forth. And I mean, that's very stressful and causing discord in the household. You understand? You wanted to continue on to add on that, King? I know you were speaking about it before I found the video.
No, that's cool.
Calm. But let me see if there's a little more on that. Hold on one second.
Through the window.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the window didn't have to be open. The window didn't have to be open in the hall.
How does one go about tailing a person?
Right. So again, that was back in the 60s. Like we said, Lord willing, you check out that interview. Very detailed. The brother said the GPS was out in the early 1900s for military only. That's right. Absolutely true. This is a good one right here. Got the complete opposite spirit on him. He was like he was smoking cigarette after cigarette, smiling and smirking.
Chain smoking.
Yeah. Got that hole in his throat because the brother he just went off. sold his brothers out. Now I noticed the third time I'm gonna try to find this precept, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, I found it. Right, this is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 10 and verse 20. I didn't try First Maccabees 10 and 20. I didn't try Second Maccabees 13 and 20. This is Second Maccabees chapter 10 and verse number 20. It says, I'll start at 19. It says Maccabees left Simon and Joseph and Zacchaeus. It's like Zacchaeus also, and them that were with him, who had enough, it's like who were enough to be, it's like to besiege them, and departed himself unto those places which more needed his help. Right, verse 20 is the point. It says, now they that were with Simon, being led with covetousness, were persuaded for money through certain of those that were in the castle. Right, so it's going to tell you there was men that lead different men up to be delivered, right, to be sent into prison, to die. Like this man, he was willing to do all those different things, and I believe he was only getting paid like what, $40,000. It wasn't even no crazy amount of money, but he was doing it. Now the time of the money is different now.
You talking about the Darther Perry guy?
Yeah,
he said over the period of 7 years he made like $50,000, which is crazy. That's crazy. That's even
crazy.
It's not even 10 bands a year to do that kind of work.
Let me get the exact. Yeah, it's about, you're right. It's about 50,000 he made over a period of 7 years. He made roughly about $7,000 a year. Now, like we said, the time of money back then. I'm gonna take this down. Really kind of stuff up there. The time of money back then was different. You know, the value of the dollar is different. It's been different over these past few decades. But nevertheless, I mean, that ain't nothing. Now, it should be no price tag on selling your brothers out. Somebody may take this and try to twist up the video. We're not saying so. We would never say that, Lord willing. But the point of the matter is, we about to read this account and see how much these brothers, they was willing to damn sell our brother. Remember, Yahweh Shai was giving up for 30 shekels of silver, which is, if I'm not mistaken, that's the equivalent of like $400. Yahweh Shai would deliver that for about $400, which is evil. Let's read on. It says, being led with covetousness, were persuaded for money through certain of those that were in the castle, and took 70,000 drachms and let some of them escape. Now, I'm going to pull this up. Most I will pull this up. How much is a drachm of silver? If I'm not mistaken, a drachm of silver is like $32, but I'm going to look it up real quick. All right, I found it. Right, so let me pull this up. It's evil. Okay, calm. All right, so we're going to show this in real time. Let me pull this up, share my screen. Because it said that these men were delivered up for about 30 shekels of silver. How did she come back?
Yeah, she got something to say to everything.
We gotta block her. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. What's going on? All right, let's go back over here. So about, no, we don't want to see that. No. So, at 70,000, right? Yeah, I can use from my sword, but about 70,000 drachms, Greek drachms, is equivalent to about $217. 217 US dollars. Now, this is what it is valued at right now. About $217. That's madness. You're going to deliver up your brothers for $217. Let's read this again. Yeah. It says, and took 70,000 drachms and let some of them escape. But when it was told Maccabees what was done, he called the governors of the people together and accused those men that they had sold their brethren for money and set their enemies free to fight against them. So the Lord going to get up with every man that want to sell out their brothers. If you moving in that spirit, brother, the Lord has you marked. Or even sister, the Lord got you marked. There's no hiding you can do from the Lord. The Lord said, touch not my anointed. Instead, you want to deliver them up. That's evil. The Lord going to get up with you. Most are willing. Anyone is watching this video, you're not moving in that spirit. But going forward, you want to be circumspect. If everyone that you invite in your house, everyone that you deem a brother, everyone that you labor with, so on and so forth, you want to examine brothers and sisters' spirits, those that are not proven or are proven. Maybe you got to reprove them. And you just got to go with it from there, because we living in the days of evil, and the Lord said the love of many is going to wax cold in these days. You got any closing precepts, King, or anything else you want to bring out before we wind down?
Just, make sure you're being circumspect, because we're coming in those times where you can see the things happen on the earth and they're gradually getting worse. So we know what that means. We know what time we're in, right? We know what's coming next. So you got to be circumspect about who's coming around. You got new brothers, new sisters just popping up. You want to make sure, like the brother said, you want to make sure you're proving people. You want to make sure that you're just not letting anybody into your house. Oh, I'm Israel, just because they got the border of blue and they got the fringes on. You gotta make sure you're thoroughly vetting people. Even like when we go to different congregations and we go to unity camps and we do different things with different brothers. Brothers have to vet brothers. You're not just letting people in, right? So you want to make sure you're doing the same thing. You want to make sure that you making sure brothers and sisters they in the right spirit.
Calm. And that's also why the Lord will definitely, what the brother was saying, keep that in mind. And as we were reading, like we went to, as well as even the videos we watched, because both those men, they were paid. You want to also make sure you checking yourself and you're not worrying about that love of money, because the love of money, the Lord said, the love of money is the root of all evil. The Lord said elsewhere in Ecclesiastes that money answer of all things, but the love of money is going to get you jammed up. You putting that over your brothers. Jake died every single day for a damn dollar with Esau's face on it. So you got to be circumspect. What mindset are you moving in? All of this about to be shut down and over with. The Lord said you can't serve two masters in the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 13 on down. Right? So we want to be circumspect. Now I'm gonna give my closing precept. Real quick. This is the book of St. Mark, chapter 13, and I'm gonna get verse 35. St. Mark chapter 13 and verse 35, and it reads, somebody had a question. It says, does that include at the gym? Should I just walk up? What do you say? Should I just want up to random bros or not so much? Well, I would say, brother, you just want to use discernment. You don't, you got to use discernment. If you have someone you can go to the gym with that's in this truth, they're all praises. If you have someone you may want to go to the gym with, a friend from the world, it's just the gym. I mean, it is what it is. We talking about in general, though, you want to make sure that you proving people, what's going on with people. You don't want to. I would much rather be, if I really wanted to go to the gym, I either go by myself. Maybe I go with a brother in this truth, if you know someone in the truth, and just go from there, King. But this is the book of St. Mark, chapter 13, and verse 33. It says, take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, and to every man his work. and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for you know not when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at cockcrowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you keep and watch. Now, we started, the live stream a little late tonight, but it don't matter. The Lord got to start at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12, don't matter. At the end of the day, the point of the matter is we coming out. We want to continue to give you updates, prophetic videos every Wednesday night to get you in that right mindset in the middle of the week that you got to keep watch. All hell, this could be the final damn Watchmen Wednesday. Don't know how things may go in Chicago. Don't know if we're going to make it back. But at the end of the day, for all those that's in this truth that's watching this video, you know what time it is. You got to make sure you're moving in the right spirit in these last days, or the Lord gonna get rid of you. Keep watch. The Lord said, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You got to get.
Yeah, Con, I do have a closing precept. This is Revelation 2 and verse 10, the classic. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried." So again, we know what time we're living in. And the Lord, he already told us what's going to happen. The Lord told us we're going to be spies. The Lord told us we're going to be delivered up. So you have to be expecting these things. They can't come upon you. Even it says, I think it's First Timothy. I forget, it might be Peter, but it says we have a more sure word of prophecy. Meaning the Lord, he told you these things. So what? You shouldn't fear these things. You have to know that the Most High, he's going to be with you, that this is a trial. That's a test that you have to pass, right? It says the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So you got to remember what the prize is, what the goal is, right? And to continue to when these things come, not to fear and to endure these things, right? Because there's a crown at the end for all the brothers and sisters that continue to endure all these tribulations that have to come to pass.
Con.
You got it, King.
Con, that's right. Absolutely right. And just to answer your question, Lion of Judah, you said, should I tell Jake who they are at gym? If you can wake up another brother or sister, all praise to the Most High, do the work in season, out of season. But with that, Lord willing, this live stream was edifying. Of course, we want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Mashak Womalaki Washai. This brother Kasadi from WFI Jersey, Philly.
Your brother Yazara.
Kwame Sharala. Keep watching these last days. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom. Shalom.